Thanks for downloading another segment from the Best of the Classic Metal Show. The Classic Metal Show is heard live on Saturdays from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com. And now here's another piece of Classic Metal Show history on the Best of the Classic Metal Show.
The Classic Metal Show.
It's a brand new one from Derek Sherinian, a song called Wings of Insanity. And on the phone right now, the legendary keyboard, so to speak, Derek Sherinian. Derek, how you doing, man?
What do you mean, so to speak? No, just kidding. How you doing, Chris?
Well, you know what, man? Sometimes I'll say legendary to people, and they'll be like, well, I'm not really that legendary, you know?
No, I was just kidding. I don't think I'm a legend yet, but give me time.
Well, you certainly have a legendary catalog. What have you played on, 50-some albums?
Oh, I lost track.
Well, the latest album that you've played on is actually your own work, another solid solo release from you called MOLECULAR HEINOUSITY. And I just got to tell you, man, you have so many different ideas. I mean, when you listen to MOLECULAR HEINOUSITY versus the last solo record, this is like a total different direction, totally new ideas, and really a different musical landscape for you. Were you purposely trying to do something completely different from Blood on the Snake?
Not intentional, not initially. This record is a little different than the other ones because it's a lot more rooted in progressive metal and it's a lot darker. A lot of it has to do to the fact that usually I have Simon Phillips on part of my record, and he collaborates with me in the writing and producing, and he was unable to participate on this one. So I had to go in other areas for people to write with and play drums. So the result, it has a lot less jazz fusion, and it's just more heavy. It's more metal, which turns out great, and there's not as much genre hopping as the past records. It's just very, ballsy, progressive metal, and I like it. The reviews have been great so far around the world.
Well, it's very cool, and I mean, some of the tunes on here, I mean, it's aside from when Zach plays guitar, which is about as distinct as you could possibly get, the rest of it really, I mean, stuff like the title track, as an example, is clearly something that you crafted. You didn't just write. You know what I mean? It really sounds like you took your time and you really put the pieces in place when you were writing it. Is that truly how it was with this?
Absolutely. There's no freeform jazz going on any of these records. Everything is pretty composed. But I do try to leave room for improvisation for the soloists so they can, do their thing. It's very important that with all the guest stars that come on and play, I want to make sure that they sound like themselves. And so they're not changing who they are, but at the same time, it needs to be on the format of my song structure.
Sure. Now, when you're writing a record like this, Derek, do you write it first and then contact all the various people, or do you contact the people and have them come in to work with you on, developing the songs? How does the process work?
Well, it's half and half. Like if I know certain people are going to be on the record, I always keep that in mind when I'm doing the composition. Like I know Zach is always going to be playing, so I try to accommodate him and try to feature Zach in a way that's different than what his fans would hear him in Ozzy or Black Label Society, and just create a different cool backdrop. And I've always done that with everyone that's guested. Like when Yngwie played on my records, I tried to write the songs from a fan's perspective. What would be the ultimate Yngwie song to listen to as a fan? And I would use that as my inspiration, and that's worked out really well. And then on the other hand, there's times where I've written songs and I had no clue who was going to be on the record, but once the song is done, it becomes obvious, and I cast out the different parts like a casting agent does to actors, and I just pick the people, and in the end, it all works out.
Right. Well, with Molecular, it really seems like it almost seems like, and I know you said before that you want the individuals that come into play to really stand out, but at the same time, it really seems like everybody kind of crafted what they do a little bit to the songs. Did you see that this time as a little bit different from the last record?
Not so much. I mean, again, I try to leave room for each of the artists to put their own, personality and as much of it as possible into the tracks. But I mean, as far as the composition goes, they're pretty much the same as when they're demoed out.
Sure. Now, Derek, you obviously, your career is one that you have played with and been in many, many big bands. I mean, obviously Billy Idol and Dream Theater and, so many different projects, Alice Cooper. But yet at the same time, you continue to record solo records, and by the way you put them out and promote them and work them, it definitely comes off as you as being a solo artist. So I'm curious, what do you consider yourself? Do you consider yourself as a solo artist, or do you consider yourself as, a member of bands, or both, or how do you look at that?
I just, I consider myself a professional musician who does a little bit of everything, If I was a solo artist, then I would be out touring and doing only my solo career, and that's not the case. I go out and play with Billy Idol 3-4 months out of the year, or I'll go play with Yngwie, go play on his record. I do a lot of studio sessions, and I also have time to do my solo record. I love playing music, I love playing live, I love recording, producing, and writing, and I just fill my calendar up every year, and there's 365 days in the year, and I just schedule it out accordingly, so I'm able to be fully self-expressed in my music. I've been doing it now 20 years since I started with Alice in '89, and Molecular Heinosity, this is my 10th year as a solo artist. My label actually is going to be putting out a 10-year anthology at the end of the year to celebrate the career, and it'll be a best of off of my 6 solo albums, and then there'll be a DVD with it of a documentary / interviews with previous guest artists that have been on my record. So that's going to be pretty cool. I love doing what I do, and I'm going to keep doing it till I drop.
Right on, man. Well, Derek, one thing I saw, I was looking through your catalog, right before the interview started, and the one record that really stuck out to me that you played on was Kiss Alive 3. What did you do on that one?
On the Kiss tour, I was off-stage keyboardist. As you know, everyone knows Kiss doesn't have a keyboardist, but my main function was to double Paul Stanley's part, his rhythm guitar parts, with a guitar-sounding keyboard patch, because Paul's a great performer and he's running around stage a lot, and so I was reinforcing him there. I was singing background vocals, and I was triggering samples and sound effects.
Okay, good. Now, when you are like that guy, and another guy that I know that does that is Scott Warren. Is it kind of, I don't want to say frustrating, because obviously I don't think it's frustrating, but is it difficult to be the off-stage guy versus, letting your presence be there?
I mean, it would be nice to be on stage, but the bottom line, it's Kiss, and they are what they are. And it was a great opportunity. I wanted to really just be exposed to Gene Simmons and learn as much as possible. And, it was a fun tour. Those guys have a lot of fun, and it was 3-4 months or something like that. It's the only time in my career I've ever been off stage. So I figured it didn't hurt, and I'm honored to be, part of history, as they say. I was on Alive 3, and then also I played on the Ramones tribute record where Kiss played a song. They included me in playing keyboard, so it's all good.
Sure, I hear you, man. So Gene was cordial to you. He wasn't the ogre that everybody makes him out to be.
No, those guys are very comedic and very fun. I mean, they're very focused and serious about what they do, but they definitely have a fun side, and I think they're great.
Sure. Well, Derek, obviously the new album, it's Molecular Heinosity. Where did the title come from for that? It's an interesting title.
Heinosity is a word I invented. It's a combination of the word heinous and monstrosity, and I'm the first artist to ever use that in a song title or album title. I'm very proud of that. Molecular was just a word I thought would be a fun tongue twister for my Asian fans. So I combined the two words, and there you go, Molecular Heinosity.
There you go, man. Well, as we said, it is called Molecular Heinosity. Derek, where can people find out about you and get the record and whatnot on the web?
Via DerekSherinian.com, and that has very updated daily updates about my career and where I'm touring and what records I'm on and everything. So DerekSherinian.com for sure.
Excellent. And what are your tour plans for the year? Is Billy Idol going back out, or what are you guys looking at?
There's talks of a bunch of different things in the works. Nothing to announce yet, but just stay tuned at the website so you can get the quickest updates.
Well, that sounds good, man. Well, for now, why don't we end the interview with one of your new tunes, Derek? Why don't you pick one from the new album and tell us a quick story about it?
Play the song Frozen by Fire. This is the last song that was written for the record, and it was collaborated with a guitar player named Rusty Cooley, who is a up-and-coming guitar hero who's, I think people are going to know his name a lot in the near future. This song is totally shredding, and enjoy.
Excellent. Well, let's check it out right now. It is Derek Sherinian with Frozen by Fire right here on your Classic Metal Show.
Thanks for checking out the Best of the Classic Metal Show. You can tune into the Classic Metal Show live every Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com.
The Classic Metal Show.